A top aide to Ukraine's President Zelenskyy says a meeting with the U.S. will happen in the near future. State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce joins us now. May I call you Tammy without being overly familiar, Tammy?
You know, Stu, after 20 years of hearing your voice in the morning, one day a week, it is a pleasure to be on with you and to hear that voice again. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back in your official capacity now.
Yes, thank you.
It sounds like the relationship between Zelenskyy and Trump is being repaired. When are they going to meet?
Well, look, these are discussions that I've not been a part of course, but what we do know and what I can say is what the rest of America has also watched is that our strength creates peace. It has clearly been made clear to President Zelenskyy that what happened at the White House the other day was unacceptable, that some respect has to be offered, but within the framework of the fact, my goodness, these are the American president and vice president and the administration working to help him save his country. That is the only goal of what has been expressed not just by President Trump, but obviously by our top diplomat, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Nothing has been more clear. And even after that, the doors remain unlocked. Both have indicated that, of course, we are ready to come to the table when Ukraine, via President Zelenskyy, is ready for peace and ready to embrace the fact that we can help him achieve that. In fact, we are the only method, and President Donald Trump is the only individual who can help make that happen. OK, next case, when will Trump meet with Putin? They're getting closer together. So you may not know the answer to this, but I have to ask the question. When are they going to get together? Sure. Well, now, obviously, the two men have already had a discussion that was obvious over the phone in order to achieve what the president and what the Secretary of State want to achieve, which is peace in Ukraine. Both individuals, both countries have to be at the table. That is going to require having conversations with these individuals. Hundreds of thousands of people have been killed. It is a meat grinder in Ukraine. There is no one wins here. It clearly is a stalemate. There is a point where and we know the world wants to move on. We achieved that with a resolution at the UN Security Council calling for an end to this conflict. The first effort at the UN to address this issue and to pass with no opposition. That was the United States' effort and the world's effort to say enough is enough. So clearly, again, I don't speak for the president. Caroline Leavitt does a great job doing that. But I think that it's obvious with what has been the most transparent administration already, again, is that this is going to happen, and President Zelenskyy understands that. And I think that's good news for the world.
President Trump issued his, and I'm quoting now, last warning to Hamas, issued this on Truth Social. He wants all hostages returned, and he says he'll give Israel whatever it needs to, quote, finish the job. It sounds like our president is giving free rein to Israel. Is that the case?
Well, Israel is one of our best allies. Israel has indicated that they have no greater friend than the United States, and we also feel that way. It is time for us to return to the notion that our allies deserve support, and sometimes it deserves the kind of support Israel is getting, making sure that they can defend themselves, that they have the ability to do that, and also, really, this is not a surprise or an unusual situation. What Hamas did was evil. This is an entity, as Secretary of State Marco Rubio has made clear, cannot continue to exist, that there will be no resolution to the Gaza situation as long as Hamas has any power or influence in that region or has a gun. Nothing can move forward as long as Hamas is remotely involved or even still exists. So for Israel, this is how Americans feel. We know when it comes to the majority who support Israel, a democracy in the Middle East. So this is obvious. This is not new. The president has said multiple times that all the hostages have got to be released. And one thing we know about this administration is that President Trump needs to be taken seriously. He follows through on what he says. Marco Rubio, Secretary Rubio, is a man who understands that vision and implements it through the State Department. By the way, I'm going to have my first briefing today for the State Department at 2 o'clock, where I'm going to have the enormous pleasure to be able to discuss the nature of what the State Department is doing to help move forward President Trump's vision and the nature of Secretary Rubio, what he's going to accomplish and what we've already accomplished and what the future is going to look like for us. It's very exciting.
Last question. Are you having fun in your new official job?
You know what? Look, it was an enormous pleasure to be with Fox for over 20 years, to know you, to get to know everyone there. But waking up every day knowing that there is a chance to make a difference in the quality of people's lives here at home and around the world, because that translates to home as well, is thrilling. And the people, the civil servants, the foreign service officers, the political people, the politicians that are elected or appointed, it is a beautiful sight when it comes to knowing that we can make a difference moving forward here. And it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Well, feel free to come back on the show whenever you like.
I want to.
Bang the table just like you used to. We missed that.
Thank you, sir.
Tammy Bruce, you're all right. We'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.